Dapo, I kept your food warm.
Did I ask you to cook?
No.
Then stop following me around.
You're too sensitive. You don't know how to manage money. Without me, what would you even be?
No, that's not fair. Please, Dapo.
Just accept it, Amara. I know better.
When a man deliberately sabotages his wife's source of income just to gain control over her, that was the exact situation Amara found herself in with her husband, Dapo. What started as love and marriage slowly turned into a battle for control as Dapo began to destroy everything that gave Amara financial independence. But will Amara allow him to take everything from her? Or will she find the courage to save herself before it's too late? Stick with me to the very end of this story to find out. But before we get into this story, kindly take a moment to hit the subscribe button. Or I should close the door and just go and sit down. I know you will. Please, when you are done watching, kindly hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section because it will be such a delight for me to know what you think about the story. Thank you, and now let's get right into the story. The first time Amara realized her husband had changed, she blamed herself. It was a raining Tuesday evening, and she stood in their small kitchen staring at the pot of soup she had prepared earlier that morning. Her husband Dapo had just returned home from work. He walked past her without greeting. "Welcome home," Amara said softly. Nothing. She followed him into the sitting room. "Dapo, I kept your food warm." He turned around sharply. "Did I ask you to cook?" Amara froze. "No." "Then stop following me around." He dropped his bag on the sofa and sat down. Amara stood there quietly. This was not the man she married. When they met 8 years earlier, Dapo had been charming, ambitious, and attentive. He told her she was different from every woman he had ever met. "You have something special," he used to say. "You are the kind of woman a man builds an empire with." Amara believed him. She married him. And when their first child was born, she believed their family was complete. But gradually, the compliments disappeared. The insults began. "You are too sensitive. You don't know how to manage money. Without me, what would you even be?" Whenever Amara complained, Dapo always found a way to make her feel guilty. If she cried, he called her dramatic. If she defended herself, he called her disrespectful. If she kept quiet, he accused her of having an attitude. And when he wanted money, he suddenly became affectionate. "Baby, I need you to help me with something." Amara started a small catering business before she got married. It wasn't huge, but she was good at it. She cooked for birthdays, weddings, meetings, and small events. The business gradually grew. Then Dapo began borrowing from it. At first, he promised to return everything. "It's just temporary," he would say. But temporary became permanent. Whenever Amara questioned him, he became angry. "Are you counting money for me now?" "That is my business money. Our money," he corrected her. "But you don't put money into this business." Dapo laughed. "Without my name, you wouldn't even have the confidence to run a business." Amara swallowed her words. He took money from her business again and again. Until one day, she had to cancel an order because she couldn't afford to buy the ingredients. The customer insulted her. Amara cried that night. Dapo watched television while she sobbed. "Stop crying," he said. "You will survive." She looked at him. "Dapo, you took the money I needed for that order." "And?" "I could lose customers, you know." He shrugged. "Then lose them." That night, something inside Amara broke, but she still stayed because she believed marriage required endurance. because her pastor had once told her that every marriage had difficult seasons, because her mother had warned her before the wedding, don't leave your marriage because of every little disagreement or inconveniences. And most importantly, because she still loved the man she remembered, not the man standing before her, the man he used to be. Dapo's behavior became worse. He controlled everything. Amara's business, her money, her movements, even her friendship. If a female customer called late, he wanted to know why. If Amara went somewhere without telling him, he accused her of hiding something. He checked her phone. He questioned every withdrawal. But strangely, he never explained what happened to the money he took from her. Whenever Amara tried to save, he found a reason to take it. One afternoon, she received 350,000 naira for a catering contract. She was excited. She called Dapo. Dapo, I finally got another big contract. Instead of congratulating her, he asked, how much did they pay? 350,000. Send me 200. Amara's smile disappeared. Dapo, I need the money for the food and rentals. I said send me 200. I can't. Silence. Then Dapo's voice became cold. So you have started becoming stubborn. No, I'm just trying to protect the business. He ended the call. That evening, he came home angry. He didn't hit her. He didn't need to. His words were enough. You think you are becoming independent. Amara said nothing. You are forgetting who you married. Still, she said nothing. You will never succeed if you continue behaving like this. He walked away. Their 8-year-old daughter, Tara, had been standing behind the hallway. She had heard everything. That night, Amara found her daughter sitting quietly on the bed. Mommy? Yes? Is Daddy allowed to talk to you like that? Amara's heart tightened. She forced a smile. Daddy was just angry. Tara looked at her. But you didn't do anything. Amara had no answer. The next morning, her younger son Daniel refused to eat breakfast. What's wrong, honey? Amara asked. He looked frightened. Daddy is angry. He isn't angry with you. Not me. He lowered his voice. I'm scared he will be angry with you again. Amara stared at her son. For the first time, she understood something terrifying. Her children weren't just watching. They were learning. They were learning that love meant walking on eggshells. They were learning that a man could insult a woman and call it authority. They were learning that a woman should remain silent to keep peace. And Amara suddenly wondered, what kind of marriage was she teaching her children to accept? Amara had spent weeks preparing for an important catering job. She had saved every naira carefully. She had bought ingredients. She had rented equipment. She had even borrowed money from her sister to make sure everything went perfectly. The event was successful. The client paid her 600,000 naira. Amara returned home exhausted but very happy. She placed the money inside her business account. That evening, Dapo asked for money. How much did you make today? 600,000. Give me 300. Amara shook her head. No. He stared at her. What did you say? I said no. It was the first time she had said it without fear. I need the money for my business. Dapo laughed bitterly. So now you have money and you are becoming proud? It's not about pride. Then give me the money. No. His face changed. He began shouting. The children ran into the room. Mommy! Dapo pointed at Amara. Tell them to leave. The children didn't move. Then Tara stepped forward. Daddy, please don't shout at mommy. Dapo stared at her. What did you say? Tara began crying. You always shout at her. The room became silent. Dakpo looked shocked. Amara looked at her daughter, and something inside her shifted. She saw herself through Tara's eyes. A woman who was constantly apologizing. A woman who was always afraid. A woman who worked hard but had no control over the money she earned. A woman who kept telling her children everything was fine when nothing was fine. Then Dakpo said the words that finally ended everything. You children should learn from your mother. A woman who doesn't know how to submit will suffer. Amara looked at him, then at her children. And for the first time, she wasn't afraid of what would happen if she left. She was afraid of what would happen if she stayed. She calmly walked into the bedroom. She opened a drawer. Inside were documents, her business registration papers, her bank statement, copies of her children's documents, and the little emergency savings she had managed to hide. She packed them into a small bag. Dakpo watched her. What are you doing? Amara didn't answer. Amara! She zipped the bag. Then she turned around. I'm done. Dakpo laughed. You? Yes. You will come back. Amara looked at him. No. He laughed again. You can't survive without me. She nodded slowly. That is what you made me believe. Then she looked at her children. But I have survived everything you've put me through. She held Tara's hand. And I will survive leaving you. Dakpo didn't believe her. He was convinced she would come back. Because every other time Amara had threatened to leave, she eventually apologized. So when she walked out of the house with the children, he didn't stop her. Instead, he shouted after her, You will be back in 3 days. She didn't turn around. She went to her sister's house. The first few days were difficult. Amara cried. She was scared. She worried about money. She wondered if she had made a mistake. Then her phone started ringing. Dakpo. She ignored him. He sent messages. Come home. Then, think about the children. Then, you are destroying your family. Then, I have changed. Then, please. Amara stared at the messages. For years, she had begged him to change. Now that she had finally walked away, he suddenly knew how to say sorry. But she remembered something. Dakpo wasn't sorry because he had hurt her. He was sorry because he had lost control over her. She didn't return. Weeks passed. Dakpo became desperate. He called her mother. He called her siblings. He told everyone Amara had abandoned her marriage. He told them she had become proud because her business was doing well. He told them she had been influenced by bad friends. But nobody knew the truth until Tara finally spoke. One afternoon, while visiting her grandmother, Tara said, Grandma, Mommy didn't leave because she doesn't love Daddy. Her grandmother looked at her. Why did she leave? Tara answered, Because Daddy made Mommy sad all the time. The room became silent. Sometimes Mommy would cry in the bathroom. Her grandmother covered her mouth. Tara continued, And I don't want to marry someone who talks to me the way Daddy talks to Mommy. That sentence traveled through the family, and for the first time, people stopped asking Amara why she left. They started asking Dakpo what he had done. Amara had almost nothing, but she had something she hadn't had in years: control over her own life. She restarted her catering business, small orders at first, then bigger ones. She began saving again. She learned how to separate business money from personal money. She stopped explaining every decision. She stopped apologizing for having boundaries. And slowly she changed, not into a bitter woman, but into a confident woman. 1 year later, Amara had rented a small shop. She had 2 assistants. Her catering business had grown beyond anything she had imagined. One evening, she stood outside the shop, watching her children laugh. Tara ran toward her. "Mommy!" Amara smiled. "Yes, I got the highest score in my class." Amara hugged her. "I'm proud of you." Tara smiled. Then she asked, "Mommy, are you happy now?" Amara looked at her daughter. She thought about all the nights she had cried silently, all the money she had lost, all the insults she had swallowed, all the times she had convinced herself that enduring pain was the same thing as saving a marriage. She smiled. "Yes, very happy." Amara nodded. "Very." 3 years later, Dapo came to her shop. Amara was surprised to see him. He looked different, older, less confident. "Amara," she looked up from her desk. "Dapo, I've changed." She said nothing. "I've gone through a lot." Still, she said nothing. "I want my family back." Amara, Amara took a slow breath. "Our children have a relationship with you. You continue being their father. And you?" Amara smiled gently. "Me? Yes, I'm not coming back." He stared at her. "But I've changed." "I believe you." "Then why won't you give me another chance?" Amara looked at him for several seconds. "Because my living wasn't about teaching you a lesson." She stood up. "It was about saving myself." Dapo lowered his head. "I loved you." Amara nodded. "I loved you too." "Then why?" She looked toward the window. "Because love without respect destroys people." Dapo didn't respond. Amara continued. "I spent years hoping you would become the man I married." She shook her head. "But I finally realized that I couldn't sacrifice my life waiting for someone else to change." She walked towards the door. "You taught me that I couldn't survive without you." She opened it. "But leaving you taught me that I could." Dapo walked away. Amara watched him disappear down the road. She didn't feel hatred. She didn't feel the need for revenge. She simply felt free. That evening, Amara sat with her children. Tara leaned against her shoulder. "Mommy." "Yes." "Are you ever going back to Daddy?" Amara looked at her children. "No." "Why, Mommy?" Amara smiled. "Because sometimes saying enough is not giving up." She hugged them. "Sometimes saying enough is choosing to live." And for the first time in many years, Amara wasn't afraid of tomorrow because she finally understood something she wished she had known much earlier. You can love someone and still leave them. You can forgive someone and still refuse to return. And choosing peace after years of pain is not selfish. Sometimes the strongest thing a woman can say is not "I forgive you." It is "I forgive you, but I will never allow you to hurt me again." This is the end of this story. What do you think about the decision Amara had to make? I'm not talking about the decision to leave, but what do you think about the decision of her refusing to return? For me, I think she would have returned back because the man said he had changed. I believe the man had learned his lessons. And this is me speaking from a religious angle. I'm a Christian and I'm speaking from this angle. I don't believe in total separation. What do you think? Do you think she should have returned back, or her decision to stay finally away is the best? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And this is a bye for now. I will see you on the next one.